Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, anybody that's keeping up with the news knows that the Mississippi's flooded, the Pontchartrain's flooded, everything around here is flooded. So I won't be kayaking too soon. So we're going to start rigging this beautiful boat. Here we go. So I figured out the centers of this. This, by the way, is a special adapter. I build one for most all motors, and what it does is it'll help me align the stuffing tube. That'll be another trick I'm going to show you. And it helps align things up when you're in a boat like this. So with these motors being as heavy as they are, and this is a Leopard 4092 1300 kV. The motor is a pound, 1.1 pounds. 4200, 4800, 4200 watts, 5.6 horsepower, good for 110 amps, probably up to about 26 volts if I remember correctly. But anyway, because of the water jacket hangs down below the motor, and the weight of the motor, if you've ever seen one of these boats stuff or roll over, whatever, these mounts are good, but you have to do a little extra to make sure that motor don't break free, or even worse, break the bottom of the boat. I have seen that. So we've got it lined up. We're really good. So we're just going to mark the sides of this. Now, because of the tray, the ESC tray right here, we have a small offset, so we're going to have to deal with that. And what I like to do is what I call a bridle, or a piece that goes into the bottom of the boat, distributes the energy of the motor back to here, here, and here. But we're going to have to leave the bottom of this open because of the cooling can that goes on the motor to clear the bottom, because you can see how close it is. We want as much straight as possible. So that's where that's going to come in. And when I said this motor So you're talking about over a pound of weight right here. So we're going to have to hold it in really good. So we'll check these marks from side to side, make sure they're straight. But I had checked the tubing, and the tubing here and the tubing here matched up in dimensions. We're going to get the measurement for the wood. So I'm looking at 3 13/16. We're going to run a little bit longer than 6 inches. Maybe, I don't know, we can wing off there pretty good. Might go a little bit further than 6. I don't know. So we're going to get started on making the bridle, or girdle, or bra, or whatever you want to call it. It's just a piece that helps when you epoxy the motor mounts in. It gives it more strength. So more strength is never bad. I forgot, this has got to be okay. Beautiful fit, beautiful boat. So we get started on making that. We'll get this out of the way because we certainly don't want to touch, we certainly don't want anything to fall. These are some of the products we'll be using in this project and why we'll be using them. This is a piece of poplar, 1/4 inch thick. And what we'll be doing is cutting notches for this to drop down in. Then we're going to have to cut out for the motor to sit down. You got to have room for that. Now it's going to be scalloped back like this and lightened, but these will tie in to it, and then all epoxied in, and holes will fill, epoxy will fill all these holes within the notches of this, giving you a really good bond and keeping this motor from ripping out, and then transferring the torque and everything to the sides of the compartment. We left the motor as far forward as he did to allow batteries to the front or batteries to the back for balancing. I was 2 inches off from the center of the sponson. Kind of what I'm thinking is they're going to be running 8S on this. So that's it in a nutshell. It's gonna it's gonna be we also have to cut out for that notch too when we start to place this. Center to center, I'm getting 2 1/8. Now 1/4, 1/8. Then we're going to have a 4 inch length of slot that this will go in. So this is a piece of 6 inch poplar, which is not 6 inch, so I'm going to cut it this way. Okay, and this is what I was talking about. This piece will tie in to the sides of the boat, keeping this, you know, and you have all these holes. All this will be full of epoxy, and then we'll set it down in there and we'll let it rest. The reason I was telling you why we had to cut this out was because the water jacket hung down so far. So we've got this piece done. We're going to clean it up a little bit, and we're going to get the boat up here. We're going to go ahead and get this epoxied in. Alright guys, it's pucker time. We got this piece, we got it drawn out. If you're not using this particular type of epoxy the way I'm using it, then I suggest weighing it with one of these scales. That's the way you can only be certain of the right weight. We got some protection here. Hopefully it knows it go to that. Why I use this particular setup here is I don't have to weigh it because it's all going in there. Every bit of it. Whoop. Get the cap off of it. Goes right through its own little mixing barrel. And there you go. Alright. I still suggest stirring it till it runs clear, but it came out pretty clear anyhow. Get some of these little brushes. Let's do it. Okay, well that's not good. Where did I set the... Really? Seriously? Oh. Duh. Alright, I'm gonna... Hey babies. So what we'll do now is we'll come back with another dose of epoxy and we'll seal all this in really good all the way around, but that's there to stay now. And we'll fill in all that. But that particular epoxy is really good at a quick hold. It's supposedly very, very strong, and that looks good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hit like and subscribe. And we didn't get none on the boat. So y'all have a good day. Thank you. And hit that bell down there to get more episodes or what's upcoming series on this one. This is part 1. The next thing we'll be doing is building a stuffing block and drilling all the way through that piece so our stuffing tube is absolutely perfect. All right, guys. You have a good day.